Good morning, beautiful people, powerful souls. What are you choosing to focus on today? Hope it's something helpful, thoughtful, and kind. Ooh, life can be busy, so I like these moments when I can be still, be thankful, be aware, because awareness is power, really. So, talking about awareness, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Peace over pressure, faith over fear. So this morning I want to talk about food for your body, fuel for your body, because I got brought up with the food pyramid and I have learnt so much on my healing journey, my bodybuilding journey, just life in general. I've always been into wellness, and I've looked into food, the science of food. Well, I did a diploma in recon sport, and my massage also taught me about anatomy and physiology. So I studied that twice, and I studied nutrition in my recreation and sport qualification, and I really found it interesting actually. But I've dove more into food as medicine and how we can utilise it as medicine. So like things like turmeric is really good for inflammation. So because you want to really look after your gut health, and there's a gut-brain connection, that's a whole other story. But like what you're feeding yourself, it's feeding your brain, your body and your brain. So you really want to look at nutrition, and there's a lot to it. So as I say, I got brought up with the food pyramid, and I've found now, like, what are you fueling yourself? It's really good too. So I've changed my plan at the moment. So I've cut a few food groups out and things. Just for me, I want to cut down a little bit. So I thought, I want to get a bit more leaner again. So I've done a bit of a strategic plan for that. So it's really good having some structure and a bit of a routine, so you can stay consistent. And because the thing is, it's that consistency, like continuous habits actually lead to massive gains. Yeah, so talking about nutrition, so I actually utilize food in different ways. So when you think about it, carbohydrates are like things like oats, bread, pasta. I've cut a lot of things out actually. Oats are really good. So I've gone more whole food, things that aren't processed, and eating more just what you can hunt and gather. Yeah, so talking about food, so I actually have carbohydrates earlier in the day or around my training, because that is quick release fuel, energy. Whole foods, so whole grains and things like that, slower release. And things like, so carbohydrates actually turn into glucose. So people worry about sugar, but actually your body changes the form of carbohydrates because it goes into your cells as glycogen, so it can be really used as energy. So but it's a different form, like if you just eat sugar, that's like quick release, and you'll have an insulin spike and you will crash a lot faster. But if you have something like oats or kumara is really good for it's got lots of fibre in it, so it's really good for your puku, for your gut health. And it's slower release, but you can also use fats for fuel. So that's another way. It's slower release though, and you won't have that energy straight, that instant energy. But it's good for sustainability. So I've implemented a lot more healthier fats and reduced carbohydrates because they're good for your hormone health. So that's something I've changed and implemented into my diet. So I eat quite a lot of vegetables. I don't worry about, I don't really count calories or anything, but I know my body, know myself. And like you actually, when you are consuming too much of things, so especially later in the day when you're not burning as much, it's called overflow. So, and that's when your body can't store anymore, and that's when it starts going into fat and inflammation and dis-ease. So I always say, like, dis-ease, your body's in, like, and then it creates disease because it can't handle, like, so now and then, yeah, all good, have a treat, you know, eat things that aren't as healthy for you, like, live life, man, like, but when you're doing it all the time, these habits, actually, that's what creates havoc in the body, because so it's about creating healthier habits, you know, looking at your food choices and just having some structure and consistency. I eat a lot more through the day, so I'll have probably about 4 to 6 meals a day, and that's every like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Drinking a lot of fluids, electrolytes, really good. But you know, it's about being strategic with food, because we just eat and we don't really think about what it's doing for our body. Is it helping us, especially at this time? So it's actually about, so when I put plans together for people, you know, it's like, okay, what do they need at certain times, especially like before you go to bed, and that protein's really important because your body's going to go into repair, so it's going to look for protein, and if you don't have enough protein in your body, like if you haven't consumed enough protein, it's going to take it from your muscles. You know, so you don't want to be losing your muscles and that your body eating itself to feed itself. You know, so it's actually about these things. So it's about being strategic, you know, quality of life, aging gracefully. But sustainability, so I like the way I eat now. I really like it. It's just become a way of life. But you can still get fat eating healthy, you know, if you're over consuming and you're not using it. So use it or lose it. I also don't like fasting. Like, I don't know if these studies are done all around men, but if they've done it, you know, I think really, because men and women are different. You know, at the moment I'm going through perimenopause, my estrogen's decreasing, everything like fat and that's easy to increase because it plays havoc with your metabolic system, because your cortisol levels go up, so as your estrogen decreases, but your bone density does too, and that's why I started this journey, because I was like, man, everyone was like going to it, oh, I'm getting old, you know, getting fat, putting all this weight on and that, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna be me, you know, like actually suffering in their bodies, full of inflammation, dis-ease, you know, and that's when your body's not at ease and flow. Yeah, it can play havoc on your moods and everything, and I'm like, quality of life matters, man. You matter, you're worth it, you know, so why not actually invest in yourself and start looking after your body, because it's such a ripple effect. It helps with your brain, then that helps with your relationships because your moods are better, you know, you feel better. You can give from overflow when you feel good rather than from depletion. You can respond rather than react. It's just a whole ripple effect really on your life, and quality of life matters. You want to be like, because I know people, you know, you got to live with yourself. I think that's the hardest thing you got to do. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to be doing some free challenges soon on my Unleash Wellness. I've created an Unleash Wellness group, so if anyone wants to come on board, I'm going to do one around self-love, actually, what we're saying, what we're doing, what we're thinking, bit of mindfulness practice, and just awareness, because you matter. So might do another one on weight loss, not too sure yet, put it out there. What would you love me to what would you love for me to do? Nutrition's a big one. I really want to start doing workshops. It's what I've started doing, some strategic planning around doing workshops, food for fuel. So actually looking at how we're fueling ourselves with food and how we're healing ourselves, because there's so much medical properties. And I love the science of things. I really, someone said, you know, I'm always studying and learning, you know, like I'm just Yeah, I like it though. You know, like people, yeah, I like to understand why and how, and yeah, and especially how I can help improve myself, because we're a chemical factory. Food can actually help with your feel good hormones, serotonin, dopamine, because life is hard, and at times I haven't felt okay. So I'm like, and okay on my body, I've had injuries. And, oh, I used to be like, yeah, I was getting to the sideway, to the grave sideways, you know, worn out. Hey, what a ride! But now I'm like, no, look after my. As I'm getting older and I'm feeling it. No, aging gracefully, sustainability, longevity. I've just flipped the script now. I'm like really looking after my vessel, and although you know I'm still falling off my horse in it, but if I wasn't strong, you know, I'd actually would probably have broken some bones. And so I really look after the vessel. You know, like resistance training actually increases your bone density, and going through the woman, when we're going through our changes, our bone density decreases, so we end up more fragile, and you can end up like breaking bones easier in that, because your bone density's you know, it's got more frail. So it's actually about really like flipping the script. I'm like, nah, it's not gonna be me. No, I just, yeah, I want to live a quality life with the years ahead of me, like the best years ahead of me now, I feel, you know. Got a bit more wiser, hopefully. Always got my L plate on for life, learner of life. Yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling now. So, yeah, holla, let me know what you think of the challenges if you want to get amongst it. And I'm also starting a subscription to my app, so it's going to be $11 a week. You've got access to workout programs, habit trackings, food diaries, meal plans, all my resources. So I've got my own, I train through my app, so I've got my own, what I'm doing at the moment, my program's on there. Yeah, and I'm just going to make more up as I go, as I go. And there's lots of educational resources too on there that I've put about protein, about eating, about exercise, just lots of different things. And I'm going to keep adding to it as I go, so you know, as I grow and as I evolve, as we do. Yeah, always shape shifting. But anyway, let me know. That's going to be $11 a week, so that will be on my app. So all these new things coming. Enjoy this beautiful new day.